Hi, well, my name's Deborah Shepherd and my business is Reawaken. And as Susie said, I'm going to be talking about this transformational change. Now, transformational change, for us, I suppose we've all had change, significant change sometimes in our life, be it personal or professional. And when we go through those periods of change, questions like, why is this happening to me? How's it going to impact me? What about my family? Will I be okay? Are all questions that swirl around in your head that might keep you up at night. Well, today I want to share a couple of tools that I feel will actually help you through change, or people that you might know that are going through change, to feel more empowered rather than overpowered by change. So why did I get to here? How have I come to being here at Parramatta today? Well, I haven't always had my business Reawaken. In fact, 23 years of my career was in the corporate space. And the last 4 years was working for National Australia Bank, heading up the Wealth Management Division for New South Wales. I loved my job. I loved my team that I worked with. I loved the overseas postings. I enjoyed the challenges that got thrown at me. And in actual fact, I enjoyed the end of year bonuses. But it also came with stress. And more importantly, the last 4 years. In those 4 years, the first 2 of them, I realised how much it was impacting me, because I was working in a leadership team that felt compelled to let me know how to run my state. And so those debates and those pushing throughs backwards and forwards impacted me so much so that when I went on holidays, I woke up hour on the hour. My adrenals were overloaded. I was completely stressed. But I was also faced with, I was the breadwinner of the house. So what was I supposed to do? If I didn't have this job, where would I be? So I felt there was no choice. I had to go back. So I went back for a further 2 years. Unfortunately, I was given another health scare and was taken in for a suspected brain tumour. Now, luckily, that wasn't the case, but my decision was made. I needed to leave. So all those questions that were swirling around in my head kept coming back. How was I going to be able to cope? Was I going to lose my house? And more importantly, being the breadwinner, I had this amazing guilt about what I had done to my family, because they had relied on me to pay our bills. And all of a sudden, my health was gone and I actually had to leave my job. So as you can imagine, I was pretty stuffed. Now, luckily, 1.5 years later, I'm still standing here. And I'm actually now privileged to have my own business. This business allows me to work with other women that are in that space, that wake up to say, you know what, there's more to life than this. Or where I am right now is not where I want to be. And I'm able to also walk a path that's 100% congruent to who I am. So no more sleepless nights and actually a smile on my face. The unfortunate thing is no end of year bonuses, but I can cope with that. So today is about touching a few of the tools and techniques that I work with my clients, and hopefully you can actually use that as well. The first one I call is paint the vision. I call paint the vision because we actually need to know where we want to go to. It's one thing to say, I want to change my job. But the question is, well, what is the job you want? And not so much the title, but what do you want to do? Who do you want to work with? Where do you want it to be? You know, you actually need to be so clear and concise in regards to this that sometimes when I'm talking with people, they are able to tell me what they don't want, but they're not able to be clear about exactly what it is that they do want. So spending time to actually do that is incredibly important. And one of those tools I use is like I call a storyboard. Now, some of you may have already used that in the past, and it's a process of grabbing a glass of wine or your favourite beverage and getting some magazines and pulling out the pictures that really call to you and create a collage. Now, my collage is on a cork board and it's right next to my fridge, so I get to see it on a regular basis. But some people I know have actually put it in on a screensaver, put it on their iPhone. They've actually created a mud map. Whatever it is that actually will allow you to put energy into that is critical. When I got to meet a guy called Courik Ashley, who wrote a book called Where Does Love Come From? He talked about how he supported our Australian volleyball team. And Natalie Cook in particular was said to visualise getting up on the podium and collecting the gold medal. And his coaching was primarily on focusing on her believing that it was going to occur. She even drew a gold medal on her bathroom mirror. So each time she cleaned her teeth, she saw the gold medal. Great idea, isn't it? So it's important that when you actually create the vision, you put things and post-it notes or whatever it is that you need to prompt yourself to continually put the energy into what it is that you want to bring in. Now, the book The Secret, got a bit of bad press, but it was talking about the law of attraction, and I think that's what Paint the Vision's about. But I think one of the things that it missed out on was the second bit, which is what I call understand yourself. Because it's one thing to paint a picture, but if you don't understand your values and beliefs of where you are today and what's created today, created your current vision, then how do you know how to get there? So another tool that I use, which I'm happy to share if you're interested in, is our Wheel of Life. And I've broken it up into 7 areas. These 7 areas have been outlined by a guy called John DeMartini that actually talks about these 7 areas being key components of everybody's successful life. And because we're individual, we all have different areas that are more important than others. So I will sit down with the client and we'll take out this Wheel of Life and we will actually measure in each of these 7 areas where we are today. And then we'll transpose the vision of the desired reality. Now this is really important for a couple of reasons. One, it will actually show where the gaps are, and it's quite surprising. Sometimes what people come to see me for is not actually what they want to focus on, and that will highlight that. The second, it will be very pragmatic approaches of what do you need to change to get from A to B. But more importantly is the question that comes out of what do I need to change in me to get from A to B? Because it's all well and good to have a project plan, but the thing that holds us back may be fear, lack of confidence, self-respect, fear of expressing self. All these things will come up as to why you haven't been able to currently create your desired reality. And that then allows us to dig in to those limiting beliefs. And I'm a big believer that until we become aware of the belief and we do work on those beliefs and reconnect a new neural pathway, then we can't create our desired vision because those things are still going to sabotage that actually occurring. Does that all make sense? So then the third pillar, once we've actually got the desire and we've got our actual current, and we understand why we've created it and we've put some processes around actually working through that, is what I call self-care or self-love. Now you'll hear a lot about self-love, and most people will say, well, how do I love myself? That's another conversation and another 10-minute speech. But in regards to self-care, a couple of tips that I suggest we can take away. Well, one is to actually make sure you consciously on a daily basis letting yourself know 3 things that I've done really well today. And 3 things could be as easy as I got out of bed and did my exercise that I promised myself. Or I stopped beating myself over the head when I actually had that muffin. Or, I breathed today, because sometimes when people are going through significant change, just getting out of bed and taking a breath is actually really important. So whatever those 3 things are, is to be consciously aware, to honour your journey and to be careful to nurture the self. And then the nurturing. And again, working with individuals means nurturing can be a variety of things. So again, I've got a list of several things that you could actually do. But things like hydration. I remember we went to a talk only recently that said that, for everyone to hydrate their body, then 0.25 mils per body weight is required to keep the hydration going. Or it could be that you enjoy your coffee. So rather than sitting there, oh my God, I shouldn't have caffeine, enjoy the coffee, but really savor it. Or it could be massage. Whatever it is that is important to you is to actually nurture yourself. Because we're all aware that if we don't look after ourselves in the middle of change, then change will overpower us as well. So they're the 3 pillars of the 7 pillars of transformational change. I'm not able to, from time perspective, to actually go all through all 7, but if anyone was interested in the other 4 or more details about the 3, then I'd suggest have a chat with me and we can actually talk about giving you more information. I'm in the process of putting a new ebook together that will support that, so I'm happy to send that through. And in the meantime, I've actually got my first ebook up on my Facebook. It's called Oh My God, I've Lost My Chakras, which talks about your energy systems and how to nurture yourself on a physical, emotional, mental way. So if any of those things would actually help you around change, then I welcome you to avail yourself of those things. That was it. Thank you.